Welcome! You frickin' people, you!
Mr. O, ask your questions to Mr. O.
Welcome to the second episode of the second season, 2-2-11.
2-2? Like a ballerina 2?
Just leave the comedy to me, the professionals. Let's get to the first question of the day. The first question comes from Lovable Me 619. Her question is, Mr. O, do you attend college? And if so, what is the craziest thing you have ever seen at school? And if not, what is the craziest thing you have seen when you were in high school? Please have Chris answer this question as well. Thank you.
That was the longest question ever. Lovable. That was like a little story, like a short novel, that question.
The craziest thing that I've ever seen from high school would probably be... excuse me! Hello! Not much, just kicking back, kicking with my homies. What am I doing right now? Well, I'm, just taping the Mr. O show. It's just a casual thing I do.
I'm pretty sure that's an iPod Touch.
Of course.
Which means you can't call people on it because it's not a phone.
Well, I gotta go. So,
Steve, this isn't even
dude, I'll take... Wait, that's my cell phone!
This is an iPod Touch. You can't make calls on an iPod
Yes, you
Touch.
can!
No,
Yes, you can!
No, you can't!
Well, what does it have a call feature?
Explain
it to me.
It's an app.
Okay, then why do they have apps? There's a cool person on there talking to me and you were brilliant.
That was not a real person!
My fan!
That was an automated answering machine.
Oh, an automated answering machine, my face. That does it, mister. You are fired. Fired! I fire you!
Fired from filming?
Yeah, you're fired altogether.
Okay, well, good luck filming, editing, producing, and directing your show.
I will do it all by myself because I'm a genius. The craziest thing that I've ever seen in high school probably would have to be, I would have to say, all the people who make out. That is embarrassing.
That's the craziest thing you've seen in high school?
Or actually, scratch that. The craziest thing that I've ever seen is a sit-out in the quad. Because they fired someone, and the students decided that they're not going to stand for it, so they stood out. Thank you, Level Me.
Well, I believe this question was to me as well. Hey guys, how's it going? What was the question?
Just answer the question and get out of the spotlight.
Well, you don't like me sitting in your chair? Does that bother you?
Answer
Steven?
the question.
The craziest thing I've ever seen in college, I'm at a film school right now. But prior to that, I went to Moore Park Community College. And when I was there was this, really fat guy who was running around naked. Yeah, I was in class, and, some fat dude slams up against the window and is, in his boxers and jiggled his stuff on the window. To the window! But yeah, that was really interesting and really weird. Probably one of the craziest things I've seen in college. I mean, at the actual college parties and whatnot, I don't know if that counts, but much crazier. But that's for a different time. I guess you can have your chair back.
You guys are Our next question of the day comes from 18 and over. Welcome back! I remembered you 18 and over. You 19 yet? And her question is, Mr. O, do you think Chris secretly envies you? Abso-frickin-lutely! I mean, I'm just all that, pretty much. Our next question comes from Jaeger Guy. That was the guy with the bunny ears, right?
Yep.
His question is, what was the last movie that you watched?
This question has multiple parts. Are you ready, Steve-O?
Ready.
First, what was the last movie you watched on DVD?
That would have to be Star Trek.
Part number 2, what's the last thing you watched on television?
Grey's Anatomy, which is the as well, excuse my French, Madam Poop Freeze.
Part 3, what is the last thing you've watched at the cinema?
The last thing that I watched at the cinema, by the way, what the we don't call it a cinema, Jaeger. We call it the movies, like normal flippin' people, or theater. Get it together, you frickin' English person, you!
Whoa, Steve-O, that sounds a little racist, don't you think?
We talk real English here in the cinema. The last thing I saw at the cinema was Piranha 3D! Exclamation point! Which I loved. It was awesome. It was funny. That was the last thing I saw at the movies, not the cinema, buddy.
Next part of the question. Also, if Chris is kind enough to make a movie about your life, and you have the final say on casting, who would you cast as you, and who would you cast to play Chris?
I would cast Steve Burton to play me. If you don't know who he is, he's a soap actor It's on General Hospital. He's big, he's got blonde hair, he's full of muscles, harder than
So nothing like you.
nothing like me, bull.
Okay, well, who would play me?
Honestly, who cares? Who plays Chris? I'll just pick up some Mexican on the side of the road, you know, to play him. Someone really untalented and really unfunny, because, I mean, he isn't really that funny to begin with, let's just face it.
Hate.
What do you
Jesus.
mean? What do you mean hate?
Why are you being such a jerk, Steve?
I'm not being a... Oh, really? You're gonna talk to me about being a jerk. You're
Yeah.
one to talk, buddy.
Oh,
who's a
whatever.
jerk to me 24/7, 8 days a week, 9 days out of the month.
There's not 8 days in a week!
Whose show is this? If I want to make it 8 days a week, I will make it 8 days a week. And if I want it to be 9 days out of the month, I will make it 9 days out of the month. And if I want it to be 75,000 days in a year, I will. And what are you gonna do to stop me?
I won't do anything to stop you. I'll just add a nice little slogan to the show. Mr. O, uneducating America, one kid at a time.
You unconceivable person! Ah! Our next question comes from Green is 90. What is the most embarrassing moment that you can remember? This is very embarrassing. Not many people know this. I don't even think Christopher knows this. Back when I was a little boy, like 2, 3, I used to like dressing in my mom's shoes, and I used to carry a purse around all the time, and I dressed like in women's clothes.
What?
I swear to God, yes.
Really?
I swear to you not. Ask my mom. She will tell you. Every time I would go to my grandma's house, I would dress in her clothes, play with her purses, play with all that. I don't do that anymore now, but that was pretty flippin' embarrassing, and I'm reminded of that every stinking day that I live from my parents and my relatives when we get together. So now that everyone knows that, and Chris is laughing hysterically on the floor like a jack, let's move on to our next question. Thank you for asking me that. Green is 90. Our last question comes from Jenny C246. And her question is, Dear Steve-O, what is your natural hair color? My natural hair color is... Thanks for the question, Yenny. Now it's time for the word of the week. Woo! And the confetti. Where's the confetti?
We don't have confetti. Confetti.
Woo! Yes, my life. Chris, that was a terrible leg. The word of the week is rat boy, and I would use it in a sentence, and here I go. Chris acts like a rat boy every day because he's annoying, and he's always eating, and rats always eat. And he can only grow 12 whiskers on his cheek.
Hey, alright, I can't grow a beard. That's not cool, dude, alright? You know I'm sensitive about that, okay?
Well, why don't you go crying about it? Thank you for watching. Please leave your questions for me to answer in the next episode of the Mr. O Show in the comment box below, or you can now reply me at my Twitter, @Tigman. Thank you so much for watching. Have an outstanding day. Don't do drugs, and don't drink alcohol unless I approve of it. Steve-O out.
I think I should start answering some questions, you know? Wouldn't that be fun if I answered some questions too? It wasn't just Steve-O. I think I'm gonna tell him.
What the f*** are you doing?
Well, I was gonna ask, you know, maybe I could start answering some questions.
Oh, the f*** you will!
I just thought it'd be cool, just like maybe one a show. I thought that'd be... Steve-O, I just thought it'd be cool if I answered... Steve-O, I just thought it'd be cool if I answered questions.
Come on.
Stop!